Hello and happy Tuesday, March the 11th. Do you guys realize in 4 more days we're halfway through March? Like we're almost through Q1 of 2025. What is going on? My name is Dina Peacock and I live outside of Memphis, Tennessee. And I was a realtor here for 16 years and I did really well. And then 2008 came along and completely destroyed my life. And it was over the course of a few years. We lost everything. We found ourselves in our mid 40s starting completely over. We lost our home, we lost our credit, I had to pull my boys out of their private school. Like it was the pits. I don't wish it upon anyone. However, I would have never given a look at this industry had I not been in that situation. And I'm so glad that I did. So I want to tell you a little bit about how we all ended up here with this Korean K Beauty skincare. And it's a pretty exciting thing. So when I was first introduced to this, and it was a year ago, it was like, hey, there's this new Korean skincare, K Beauty skincare launching in North America that just launched in North America. And I was like, I'm getting I'm putting my shoes on. And then they were like, and they are just now launching here in North America, and they did 2.5 billion in just 5 years in South Korea alone. I said, I'm grabbing my purse. And then they were like, and we have an opportunity to partner with them and bring this brand to North America and beyond. And I said, I'm getting in my car. Let's go. Like I love, 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 love skincare. And I knew that I knew. So what I want to say about skincare is you guys are super blessed if you're on here tonight as a guest and you're like, what is it about this Korean K beauty skincare? Well, first of all, there's a huge difference in Korean skincare and K beauty skincare. You see, any company, any brand can put one Korean ingredient in a product and say it's Korean skincare. Did y'all know that? And then there's K beauty, which is the umbrella of super high standards that have to be met in order to be classified as K beauty. And that is, it has to be grown, it has to be harvested, it has to be manufactured, all ingredients in South Korea. So whenever you hear the term K beauty, that is a much higher standard of what you're hearing about Korean skincare. And this is definitely of the K beauty arena. So when I learned that, I knew that I was really going to be onto something, because my first company, remember I told you when we lost everything back in the day? Well, the company that I partnered with had one night cream, and it was toxic. You looked it up and the word poisonous came up in Google, and it smelled horrible. It stunk so bad. And we went through years of people's husbands sleeping on the couch because they could not stand the smell of their wife. And we built successful businesses with that. So imagine when we get our hands on something like this, what a big eye opener that was. So what I want to do is tell you, it doesn't matter if you're from Yale or jail. There are all types of people, all walks of life, stepping in and partnering with this company to offset expenses by making a little income. You're going to hear from ladies tonight and the question is going to be for a lot of them, how did you how did you even want to do this? Because you have so much going on in your life. And that's because we all agree on one thing, and that is by far, this is the biggest thing we've ever partnered with. And I want to say one other thing that is so important, and that is the high level things that are going on in this company. The big vision that is going on in this company is so big. So if you can imagine, we've only been here in North America for 2 years. Within the next 5 to 6 years, this company is going to be in 55 countries. So you have an opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm not saying that lightly, because I would never say anything like that lightly. I take that sort of thing really, really serious. So here's just a few stats of why we're here, and that was so appealing to us. And that is, first of all, K Beauty Skincare is viral. Just the search alone for Korean skincare and K-beauty is up 350% just in the last 6 months. So that tells you people are searching for what we have. It is viral and it works. And that's the biggest kicker that I can tell you is we come from a world of hype. We come from a world of over promising and under delivering. And so this was the first time that I've ever used anything that did what it said it was going to do. And I had results in just 4.5 days and my jaw hit the floor. They've in South Korea alone sold 35 million jars of moisturizer. Like what? 14 plus patents. The technology, the science is so advanced here. It is light years ahead of everyone else in the beauty industry. So enough about all of that. I just wanted to set the framework for what you're being introduced to tonight. And our goal is at the end of this Zoom, after you hear these ladies, is to say, I want to know more. I want to know more about this movement and how I can be a part of what these ladies are doing. So I'm going to bring up someone first, and her name is Chris. Chris, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Kristen Boone, let me tell you a little bit about this lady. And I'm blown away because she has 3 little children, and she owns a coffee shop. And she's holding down a fort of a family, raising children, running her own business, and she's here with this company. So Kristen, my question for you is, why did you think adding something else to your life with 3 small children and a business was a good idea?
Sure, Dina. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You got me giddy thinking about Riman products. I got to get focused back in on a business chat here. I got to backtrack. Several years ago when I first kind of stepped into this industry, I will be honest, I had no clue what I was doing. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. That's all I've ever done. Is entrepreneurship, because I've always thought that there was something better than sitting behind a desk listening to a boss. I wanted to be my own boss. But I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't even mean to step into this industry. It was a very impulsive decision that I knew nothing about. And that was like 6 or so years ago. And I will never forget, you guys. At the time, I had a 1.5-year-old and a newborn. And I was so tired that we're heading to Pizza Hut to get dinner because mama didn't want to cook. I was tired and I was feeding a baby. I was just exhausted. And I was also excited because I had this new exciting, little business going on. And I was like 1 weekend. And while we were on our way to Pizza Hut, I got my very first email that I had sold something. And I was like, no way, this is hilarious. This is like real. And I left my phone in the car, went to Pizza Hut with my small little family, which was so overwhelming. And when we got back to the car, I had 2 more orders. I will never forget that Pizza Hut trip. And I remember just talking to my husband, and I'm like, whoa, this actually just paid for a whole meal. Like, I'm going to make the money that paid for Pizza Hut tonight. This is legit. And I knew from that moment forward that this was something I was pursuing seriously, because I realized I just spent an hour with my family in Pizza Hut, loving on my new baby, watching my little toddler be horrible, but it was cute nonetheless. And I was being paid while I did that. And actually, I got to pay for the pizza. You know what I mean? And so I remember thinking, this is so cool. I'm going to do something with this. Still had no idea like what it really could be. So fast forward through the years, I have literally had that scenario time and time again. I've made money and I've made sales and things while I was on vacation, while I was delivering the 3rd baby. I was making money while I was delivering babies. I've had seasons, of you hear people say weeping and dancing. I've had seasons where things were so hard and I was still able to maintain something here. And that's when I realized that this idea of time freedom isn't exactly what you think. It's a trade-off. And so while I'm spending time in this world, The trade-off isn't that I don't ever work. The trade-off is that I don't miss a thing, and that the things that matter the most, I get to be present for. And so, like, to get into Riman talk, fast forward to, all these years, when I heard and I learned about Riman, my mind exploded. This was about a little over a year ago. My mind exploded because I already knew what was possible from my experience. But when I say timing is everything here, I had something at Riman that I actually didn't have before. And I saw the timing, and I saw the comp plan, and I saw the company integrity all check out. And I'm not gonna lie, I was almost nervous about it because I'm like, this is the moment that people dream about here. This is what not very many people get. And I might have this moment. And that, all of you listening right now, that's you right now. You have that moment. And so I just remember thinking, I've learned that time is valuable. My time is valuable. I've got 3 little kids, and I do not want to miss a thing. And this company right here is going to be what 100-folds that. And it already has started that, you guys. So actually it's crazy. I even opened a coffee shop. Everyone's like, I thought it was funny, this question, why are you adding something to a super busy life? Because I can, because this has allowed me to.
Wow.
And I know that sounds like a catch-22, but that's the truth. This company and this industry has allowed me to step into other callings because it's made space for it. It's made room, it's made time, and that has been the biggest blessing in my life. And so really, when I think of, today's a perfect example of a trade-off when it comes to time. Like, I'm here talking to these amazing women for 30 minutes, but I got to pick my kids up from school and spend an hour and a half outside in the first 80-degree day in Kansas. It was amazing. Like, if this weren't the case, I might be at a desk till 5, And so that's non-negotiable to me. It's a trade-off. It's you work so that you can prioritize the moments that matter the most to you, so you don't miss the preschool graduation. I haven't missed a thing. I haven't missed a single thing, you guys. And that was another thing I realized so quickly, was that, oh my goodness, I love these children so much. I don't want to miss a thing, but I love entrepreneurship. This allowed me to do both. So when the question, why did I think adding something like this was a good idea in a super busy world or life? It was a non-negotiable because it really it opens up available time, available flexibility, time, freedom to make time for what really matters. So that's really it, Dina. That's my story.
I think you just nailed that in a way that I know I've never heard before. So, Kristen, thank you so much. And thank you for being here and sharing your story. That was just so good. And I mean, to be young again, enjoy every second. Let me tell you, they grow up so fast. All right. Can you believe we have 2 Kristens back to back on this panel? So we're going to go out to Kristen Colbert. Where are you, Kristen? I'm looking for you. There you are. And let me tell you a little about Kristen. She is an esthetician. She is an industry insider. She has owned her own salon for 17 years. So she's an insider in the beauty industry, guys. And that speaks volumes when you see all of these beauty insiders curious about this and actually doing something they said they would never do. I mean, I'm sure you hear that all the time. I would never be a part of something like that because my skincare is supreme, and we're finding spa owners, med spas every day coming over here. So, Kristen, let me ask you a question. Because there's so much out there, and because there's so much to see, look at, and there's so much competition, what in the world made you stop and look at Riman to partner with your expertise that you have?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dina. I'm so honored to be here tonight. That's a really great question because I had actually been with another skincare company for 11 years before Riman. And so almost a little bit like your story, my world got turned upside down in 2020. My salon closed. I didn't know if I was going to be able to work. I was not considered essential. I mean, hair and skin are very essential. So it's been a long road, but I'm back and never went down. But I stayed with that skincare company. But since the pandemic, things were not the same. And I was always looking for something clean and holistic because that was the trend. So I was watching one of my favorite doctors, and she's super holistic and super granola. And she doesn't even use skincare. I don't even know how she didn't before. And her skin looks amazing. However, she starts talking about this skincare, and I'm like, what is she using? What is she talking about? So one day I was in the salon by myself, and she kept popping up, and I said, what is she into? So I kept it to myself. I was in my salon one day, and I said, I've been looking for something different. I've been looking for something clean. I had heard about South Korean skincare. Like you said, it had been really trending. And I said, if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be with her. So I just sat in here by myself and I said, I'm signing up with her. So one of the best things that ever happened, because I did not realize how, first of all, affordable the product was, but how effective it is. And me being an esthetician, I'm of the mindset and the training that you have to have chemical in order to get rid of certain skin conditions. And with Riman, I was so surprised, pleasantly surprised, how quickly I was seeing results from people and, on myself and now my clients. And the other thing is, being with the other company for 11 years, nothing bad to say, but the pricing I just didn't realize was just not affordable. And so there are people now, since I have partnered back in July, there are people that would never even buy a cleanser from me. And now there's people coming out of the woodwork that are now doing business with me. It's absolutely incredible. But, just to give you an idea too, not only do we have the skincare, but we also have the hair care. And that has been blowing me away. Once again, let's talk about size. Typically 8 to 10 ounces, is anywhere from, 40 to $50 these days. And especially with my other company, you're talking 16.9 ounces for a shampoo is $34. It's very, very affordable. And there's just the people that I've met, this industry, it has always saved the day. And you know what? I've had bad times in life and I've had good times in life, but there is a fire lit in me because I'm not going to talk about a product that doesn't work. And I'm over talking about products that people just simply can't afford. So it's just, I'm really glad I followed that doctor, and I'm really glad that I said something's up here. And now that I've been partnered since June or July, it's the real deal. It's great.
Well, Kristen, thank you so much. And it's people like you who make other people turn their head and go, wait a minute, because you are an expert in our industry. And when we talk about things like skincare, everybody has skin. I hope everybody has hair. Most people anyway, if they're bald, they can grow some hair with this stuff. So we have something for everybody. And you touched on that, like we truly have the answer. And I appreciate you sharing that. And I appreciate your wisdom. And we're so glad that you're here. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to go out to a lady who's just 20 minutes down the road from me. We've been doing business for a long time together. She's my partner in crime, and she is here because I needed her to reach you guys. She has such an incredible story. She was in the service industry for 16 years. And if you want to know what kind of service, she cleaned toilets. So that is not very glamorous. And I say when she got into this profession, she didn't even have coworkers. She had no one. She had she didn't have a book of business of any type. And so she was a sponge and she was hungry, and she's done incredible things, but life has taken her down a road of a lot of grief and tragedy. And she's here to talk about that tonight. So Paige, my question for you is, overwhelmed, like even during times of a crisis and just so much heartbreak in your family, what made you look at something during such a personal and intimate time of your life? How were you able to do that?
Okay, so I had to make notes. So 5 minutes is not very long, because when it's like, you need to tell your story, I'm like, how long we got? Like, a lot to say. So I want to go back and start in 2013. I just want to be honest and transparent. In 2013, when I first joined this industry, I solely joined this industry for money. Like the financial anxiety, that's a real thing. Like, I don't know if anybody else can relate, but like I've named it. It's called financial anxiety, and it was real, and it was drowning me. Like, it was consuming me. So my first company, I joined completely for the extra $500 to $1,000 a month. In early 2017, I nearly lost my husband to a freak heart issue. When I say my husband, like we were pre-high school sweethearts, y'all. I met my husband when I was 14 years old and he was 16. We'll be married 28 years this year. So I almost lost him, and that completely like flipped our world for a minute. And it certainly put things into different perspective. It was very clear at that time that time, and hang with me, was more valuable than money. Time was more valuable than money. That was the lesson that I walked away from with that experience. With that being said, the money is what bought me my time, right? The money from the industry that I made is what bought me my time and allowed the beautiful option that I call choices, right? You actually have choices for the first time. So when I say time, when I say it bought me my time back, I mean time flexibility, time freedom. People call it different things that allows me to live my life doing what I love with who I love, right? So vacationing more, that means vacationing more, not missing, like Kristen said, life's events, like the most important moments, the things that you don't get a chance to be a part of again. Saying yes to the impromptu lunch with friends, spending more time at our cabin. We have a cabin and we love spending time there. Being available for my mom. Like my mom is 82, she's aging, and I love to make sure that I'm available on with that phone call, right? To be able to go take care of her, take care of her needs, but also to be able to spend that time with her, right? While I can. So, and being able, and this is going to lead into what we were talking about, what Dina was referring to, and being able to be at the bedside of both my siblings. And I said I wouldn't cry, but I'll get it together really quick. During their final weeks of life. Give me a minute. I'll still make my five. Don't find something like that.
You're okay.
So, no, I know. Shoot. It's hard for me to utter the word. Somebody else can say it, but it's hard for me to say it. Okay. Okay. In October of 23, now I can't even read my paper. That's really good. In October of 23, I lost my big sister. And in February of 24, I lost my big brother. 4 months apart, you guys. My whole world flipped. So let's get over this part. So my brother passed away on February the 10th, and I joined Riman February the 28th. Like, how crazy like is that? You talk about somebody in total overwhelm, total grief, every emotion you could possibly think of. Why in the world am I starting a new company? Like, why am I pivoting? So I want to give you a few reasons why, because it would have been a whole lot easier for me to put that off, and it probably would have made a whole lot more sense, right? For me to say, not right now, down the road, come back and talk to me later. But I needed this business. Like, I've been in the industry before and I know what it brings and I know what it delivers. And I needed this business to focus on to keep me from drowning, right? Because it's easy to ball up with all of that happened, go into depression, anxiety. I've been there down that road too. And I didn't want that to ever come back into my life because that is not fun. The second reason is what I said before. This industry is what has allowed my time back. Like, it bought me time. And to not have to clock in somewhere 40 hours a week, because I'm not that girl. I knew that at 24 years old. I am not that girl that's going to do that for the rest of my life. And so without the time flexibility that it has provided, I would have not been able to be at the bedside of my siblings from August of 23 all the way to February. I mean, we had some long hospice roads. I was able to be at the bedside of both of my siblings because this industry made it possible for me, because it bought me my time. I can't even imagine, you guys, like, not being blessed with that time that I had with my siblings, or having to say, no, I gotta go to work for 40 hours this week. So sorry. And praying that they didn't pass while I was at a job. So I know it's a little bit heavy. But the other reason is a $2.5 billion brand, like Dina said, now a $3 billion brand, with the absolute most compelling products that I have personally ever represented in my whole career in this industry. Riman is not your average company, not by far. Their stability gives me security, right? To know that I'm building something that is sustainable and that will help me to keep my time, right? To keep my time. And I said four things. This is the last thing. This industry to me is like a personal development growth course with a compensation plan attached. What do I mean by that? And I'm dead serious, you guys. This industry has changed me as a person. It has completely changed from where I started in 2013 to where I am now. I'm a better wife. I'm a better mom. I'm a better friend. I am a better daughter. I want to say I'm a better sister. I still am a good sister. This industry took a shy girl with very little confidence that cleaned houses for 16 years, like Dina said. I had zero business sense, you guys. Like Dina's had to bring me a long way, right? From not chewing gum in a meeting to like we've been down that whole entire road. We've been down the whole road. No leadership experience, no sales experience, and grew me into a smart and confident and respected business lady. And I cannot say enough about the power of that piece of this industry. And then I just want to leave you guys with this because of my life experiences. And now you know, I encourage you all to remember this one thing. You can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. So I just encourage you guys to get back with who invited you here. Everybody has a story. Some of them aren't going to be as like, I'm sorry, I know this is a little bit heavy, but Lori's going to come in and tie a pretty big bow on it. So thank you, Dina.
You're welcome. Thank you, Paige. I know that was not easy, but her whole purpose is for you guys to see, because she knew the importance of the culture and the way we just huddle around one another and are there we're family. And not only that, but we're able to help her through these difficult times. So it's an overall movement. So I'm about to bring up our final speaker who's going to close us out. She's a dynamic woman. I want to say before she jumps on here, I want to say we have conference this weekend where they are announcing so many changes, so many new things rolling out. It is going to be mind blowing. So if you've ever thought about, I'd love to partner with a company with this kind of financial stability, with there's no investors who own this. We are independently owned. We are debt free, and we're just going to continue to roll out more and more of these incredible products. And just so much is on the horizon. So if you've ever thought, could you be your own boss? Could you make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? Someone thinks highly of you, that they brought you here tonight to introduce you to this company. So I'm going to bring up Lori. There she is. And she is retired from the medical industry as a respiratory therapist. And, you know, as we've talked, she's been through a lot. You know, you're going to see the theme tonight is overcoming objections. All 5 of us have overcome objections to be on the path for where we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to bless and influence other people. So Lori, are you ready for my question? Your question is, what's the worst thing that could happen if you did something like this? What's the best thing that could happen if you did something like this?
Well, I tell you, this has been amazing. You guys are awesome. And hearing everybody's stories and feeling their love for what they're doing and how important time is. I even have a little bit to touch on of that too, but I'm going to just kind of just back it up just a little bit. I've been in this industry for just over 8 years. And when I joined, I was working as a respiratory therapist. I was working night shifts. I was exhausted. I had a couple of teenagers left at home. One was getting married. I had autoimmune issues. I was sick. I was hopeless. I'd hit the top of my pay scale, and there was no hope for me to make any more money or to see myself progress. And I found myself the last few years being there that I was unfulfilled and empty. And I was just waiting for retirement. And I was thinking, I'm 49 years old and I'm waiting for retirement. Like this is going to be a long, 15 years of nothing to get me excited. So when this business came along, and I'm telling you, if you've ever felt that pull in your heart, there is something that touches your soul. You hear about something and it's like, this is my future. That's what I felt. That's what I felt. I felt this is my future. And I knew once I decided I was doing it, and I remember my friends that I was working with were like, "What are you doing? You're crazy." And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, when it comes over you that big and your whole soul knows it, you just you go and you do it." And did I know what I was doing? No. I mean, I could help people breathe all day long, but to actually like do something like this and be an entrepreneur. I had no social media, I had no Facebook and no Instagram. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that this was my purpose and where I was supposed to go. And you guys, 4 months later, I retired from that job. I said, that's it. And could I have stayed working there longer? I could have, but I was so unfulfilled and so broken and so sick. And so I took the leap. I'll tell you, it was it's changed my life. It's changed my family's life. I remember thinking that if I could just make enough money to go to Costco and not be sick every time I went to Costco. And if I could just take Tuesday off and play pickleball with the ladies, then again, the time exchange, right? It was it was simple things like that. I knew I was going to have grandbabies soon. I wanted to be in a position where I could take care of my grandbabies. And in that job, I couldn't. So I saw what was coming and I went for it. And I tell you, when they say that this is a self-development program with a compensation plan, that is so powerful. And if it doesn't give you goosies now, it will when you step into this, because the more you grow, the more you personally learn and grow and believe in yourself, that's where the success begins to happen. When Riman came along a year ago, I was going to be with that company that I was with forever. I was never going anywhere. And I'll tell you, things change. Businesses change. They go, companies come and go in this industry. We've seen it. And it makes you really nervous. But when I stepped into this company, it was different. The leadership is different. This company was built for direct sales. It wasn't built with with great products that they were like, well, this is a great way to market them. People can sell them this way. It'll be great. We'll get our name out there and then we can do what we want and go into big box stores. It's not like that here. This company is the next legacy company. This company is something very, very special. And what else did I really want to touch on? So what was the best thing and what was the worst thing that could happen? So when I came to this company, I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? I could have like the best skin of my entire life. Like, I mean, I had great makeup, but holy moly, when you have good skin, like it changes everything. And I think that, that's the best thing. That's the worst thing that could happen. What's the best thing that could happen? You could believe in yourself. You could have the courage to do something completely different. It doesn't matter if you're 57 like I am. It doesn't matter. I have ladies on my team. I see a couple of them here, 70 years old. They are rocking this business. Why? Because we all have wrinkles. We all have wrinkles and we love helping people and we love sharing what we love. And that is a beautiful thing. So what's the best thing that could happen? You could change your life personally and financially. And you could have that time freedom that you've always dreamt of. Don't wait for retirement to come. Don't get stuck in that humdrum of clocking in and clocking out when you can do something completely different. And even if you love that, you keep doing that, but you can do this on the side. And I'm telling you, you will feel the fire and you will feel the love and connection when you're with other women who want the best for you and believe in you. So if there's one thing I can say to you tonight is go back to that person that invited you here and talk to them. If you have questions about the specifics, like ask them. They are more than willing to share. I think for most of us, we don't want to overwhelm you with too many details, but I'm telling you, it will change your life and it will change your family's life, and you can help change other people's lives. And I'm so excited for where we're going. And you guys, thanks so much for being on tonight. It's been an honor to be with so many of you, and you guys are rock stars, and I believe in you. And that person that invited you believes in you. So, Dina, we good?
We're so good. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night. Have a wonderful night, and thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.